I am back with the I Hate Racism Part 2. I had to delete the other one because this thing doesn't have a pause button. So here we go. The reason why I hate racism and racist people is the simple fact that I've been a victim of this shit all my life. Excuse me. Whether it came from grade school to middle school to high school to my adult life, I have never stopped being a victim of racism. I have never stopped being a victim of racist people. And granted, most of the time, those racist people have been people of my own freaking color. Alright? We got that established. But in that, I have never lacked the fact of being black. I've always stood up for my people until my people did stuff that didn't need to be stood up for. Okay? Now, the thing is, we all have racial issues. We have racial tensions. We have racial things that we need to explore, exploit, and destroy. Alright? But we don't want to do that because it's too much like the right thing to do. Instead of trying to correct the big problem of racism, we just tend to brush that shit under the rug because no one wants to hear about it because it starts getting people inflamed and they start talking badly. And the next thing you know, somebody in the room becomes a nigger, or somebody in the room becomes honky, or somebody in the room who's Asian becomes a slope, again, a wetback, a gook, and then things just start getting out of hand. Now, if I offended you with all of those things that I've just said, well, look in the mirror. I'm sure you've said or thought these things about people of different races yourself. And why can I say that? Because I've thought them too, and I own that shit. I wasn't always this way. I've had some racist incidences where I didn't start them, and they didn't start off as racist, but in return, instead of thinking things through, I became a racist. And it wasn't pleasant stuff that came out of my mouth. But I will admit to saying things because me and this little Asian fella got to arguing one time, and I think we were in middle school or grade school. No. We were definitely in elementary school because it was like in the 5th grade. His last name was Zhang. That's all I remember. I don't remember his first name. Don't even remember what he looks like, but I know he was Asian. And I don't know if Zhang is a Vietnamese name, but I know it's a Chinese name. And so when we got to arguing, I had nothing. He was like way more intelligent than me. So it got racial because I've heard it before. So I used it. And I told him to go home, back to China, and eat some rice cakes. I had never even heard of Vietnam at the time. And he goes, "Oh, fuck you, buddy. I'm not Chinese. I'm Vietnamese. And we don't eat no fucking rice cakes." So, lesson learned in that not all Asian people like rice cakes. And that there are more Asian countries than just China and Japan. And we should respect everyone in their culture. Okay, like I said, I owned that. Because at the time, racial things were tensions. And I think somewhere along the line, he came out his mouth first with like a half-breed joke. And by the time I got to that grade that we were in, I have had enough of being called half-breed, 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 half-breed. And if you're not mixed, you have no idea how it feels to hear this shit from grade K to grade 12. Alright? Or if you're mixed and you don't know it. See, there's a difference when you're mixed and you don't know it because you have stronger features of one ethnicity than the other. Not like me. It's clear that I'm black. Okay, maybe it's not clear that I'm black to black people, but it's clear to other people that I have black in me. It's also clear to some people that I don't have a usual look of black people. I have a black nose. My eyes are slightly slanted, especially when I smile, so I don't do a lot of smiling. But, if you name it, I have been a victim of racial slurs. I have been a nigger chink. I'm okay with that. I have been a half breed. I'm okay with that. And I have been the only thing that I'm not okay with. I have been a chief. Now, you would think that me being part black, that the word nigger would hurt my feelings more. But it doesn't. It doesn't. I hate being called chief. I hate that shit with a motherfucking passion. And why? Because apparently, to everyone except for certain Native American groups, I look more Native American than I do black. And you be the judge. Alright? And that includes Mexican. I've been spoken to in Spanish, and they probably weren't very polite words, but I don't speak Spanish. And in fact, when I was in college, I was failing Spanish so bad. The teacher told me that the answers was in the back of the book. And then she looked at me and she said, "You should speak Spanish because you're Spanish." Gotcha, bitch. I'm not Spanish. I'm not Mexican. All right? And not everybody who looks like something is what that is. All right? Cherokee Indian, black and white. Enough said. So, like I said, why do I hate racism? I just gave you a pure example of me being a racist to show you why I hate racism. I told a man to go back to China and eat rice cakes, and he wasn't even from China. And we were kids. But see, kids learn from adults. There was no racism in my house, but there was racism in school. And most of the time, racism in school comes from racism in someone's house. But there was no racism at my house because my house was colorful. If you see a picture of my mom, she looks like a white lady. You see a picture of my dad, he looks like a black lady. If you see a picture of my grandma Ada, she's straight up full Cherokee. So, you know, what am I supposed to do? I learned from other kids. I never fit in, so in order to fit in, I adapted and became what I couldn't stand. As I grew up, I grew back out of it in becoming me. But all my life, I've been a victim of racism on some level or another. And so when racial tensions flare, when black people do dumb shit, it reflects on me. So when black people do dumb shit, I'll quickly, I don't do it now, but I used to quickly deny being black. Oh no, I'm not black, I'm Cherokee. I'm all Cherokee. I wish I was all Cherokee. That shit's not gonna happen. You can't undo your bloodline. You have to accept it, you have to deal with it, and you have to move on. I wish that there are times when I could not be black. That's never gonna happen. Because my birth certificate, whether I'm multicultural or not, back in the 70s, there was no other category. You were either black or you were white. When you left out that damn hospital, you were one or the other, unless both of your parents were Asian. You left out as whatever Asian ethnicity that they identify with in America at the time. I was born in 1973. My birth certificate says Negro. Period. So, whether you guys like it or not, I'm black. Now, proving it to black people has been a bitch, but I'm also Native American. Alright? I like being multicultural. Honestly, truly to God, I do. The only thing I don't like about being multicultural is explaining that I'm multicultural, to people who have bumped into me more than once, or people who just want to be dicks. I have been a victim of racism all my fucking life. All of it. And the thing is that no one really wants to adjust it because either they're afraid they're going to get hit in the face, and some people probably deserve it. Because if you are a racist and you wear a hood, that does not prove that you're brave. That just proves that you're a coward instead of telling people how you really feel. I'm like this on an honest tip. If you racist, guess what? Ain't nothing I can do about it. Not really. I can accept you, and I can respect you. Because if you're honest with me about your racist views and shit, it's cool. Don't worry, I'm not dating your daughter. And if you're a racist and you're not open and honest with it to yourself or to anyone else, then you're a fucking coward. There's not a lot of room for respect from you for cowards. Because you know what? If you don't want me marrying your daughter because I'm black, I think I have the right to know that. Even though I would be the guy who would treat your daughter like she's the greatest gift next to sliced bread, you don't want me marrying her because I'm black is something that I think I would have the right to know. And better still, it would probably be something that she would have the right to know too. So that when the rings are exchanged, it won't be, oh, I can't marry you. It's not because I don't love you, it's because you're black and my parents don't want me with you because you're black. Well, that's some shit that you should probably tell the guy before you even let him date your daughter. And it's also something you should probably tell your daughter, honey, I love you, but I don't want you marrying a black person, even if they make you the happiest person on the planet. It's not fair to your daughter, and if you truly love your daughter, you would never put her in that situation. However, this shit happens all the time, and people lose the love of their lives because of racism, and because people don't have the courage to stand up to their parents and choose happiness and start a new family over, I don't want to lose the family I have because they're racist views. Well, here's the thing on that. If they really love you, they'll let you go. And they'll let you come back. They don't have to take in your significant other. Y'all just can't do family events together. You can work that shit out in a way that it doesn't hurt everyone. No. But People are stuck in their ways. And as long as people are stuck in their ways, the world will not progress. The world will not change. And as long as you don't want your daughter marrying a man who's going to treat her right, as opposed to a man that's the same color of her, that will beat her ass on a fucking daily, and yet you still wouldn't be brave enough to go and put a bullet between his eyes or smack the fuck out of him for putting his hands on your child, what's worse? Your daughter marrying a black man who loves her, adores her, and treats her like the queen that she's supposed to be, or your daughter marrying a man that's the same color as you that blackens her eye every 6 months because he didn't agree with something that came out of her mouth. But here's the thing about being a man. We're not always going to agree with the shit that comes out of a woman's mouth. Now, everyone's looking at this video saying, well, God, James, you have diarrhea of the mouth. Yes, I do. I have diarrhea of the mouth big time. In fact, I have so much diarrhea of the mouth, there's not enough toilet paper in the world that you can wipe my ass with the damn shit that comes out of my mouth. But the fact is, the diarrhea of the mouth that's coming out is the truth. And people don't like the truth. They tell you they want the truth. They tell you they like to hear the truth. But here's the truth. The world is full of racist people. And until we slowly sway them to the reality of this is why the world is fucked up. The world is made for everyone to share. No matter color, creed, ethnicity, or religious beliefs. No one owns the earth. You can have property and own parts of the earth, but eventually you're going to die. And you can't take that shit with you. The earth is an inhabitant soul in which we live on. It is not something that you can ever truly own. You have some land, you own that. But when you die, your descendants are either going to pick it up and keep it, or they're going to pick it up and run with it. Besides, you're dead, so what can you do? You're in heaven or hell, wherever the hell you belong after death. Yeah. So, you want to know why I hate racism? I hate racism because it exists. It does not go away. It's the same thing with these people who buried the word nigger. Nigger, 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 nigger. Once a nigger, always a nigger, color me nigger. I get tired of hearing the word nigger. But young people, black and white alike, and now it's trended over into Japan and other Asian countries where motherfuckers just use the word nigger. Nigger, 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 nigger. Well, I don't like hearing it. But here's that thing. We're in America. Freedom of speech. When I was 16 years old, I worked at Kettler's. There was a very nice white man there. I don't know his name. He played the same song, and I've told you this story over and over again because he played the same song, and I don't know if it was Garth Brooks, and I don't know if it was Billy Ray Cyrus, but I do know it was I Got Friends in Low Places. So I don't know who sings the damn song, and I don't really care. But every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night when I was at work, this guy played this shit religiously at the same time, 3 times in a row, back to back to back to back. I know that jukebox made a lot of money off of him. Now, as nice as this guy is, I wouldn't say he was a racist. But I would say that he didn't have any empathy for how I felt about him calling me chief every fucking day. Now, I don't know a situation. But as a 16-year-old kid, it's not my place to know an adult situation. However, what that man didn't understand was I wasn't in a great place myself. And adding on to my anguish by calling me chief was not helping me. I was getting bullied at school. My home life wasn't all that great. And it still isn't, but it wasn't as bad as it was back then. But to go to work, I'm chastised at school because I don't have a girlfriend. I'm not getting pussy. So everybody's rubbing that in my face. Somebody lied and told everybody that I jacked off. But they bullied me into making me say it because my mom wouldn't let me fight at school. But these same bullies would not face me outside of school. And then, let's see, what's the other thing? I had a girlfriend who not only was cheating on me, but broke up with me over the phone while I was at work. So she broke up with somebody, but it wasn't me. And then she brought her new boyfriend, who looked just like me, only taller, to my job. So I was getting it all the way around in my teenhood. I was getting royally fucked racially and any other way possible. So when it comes back down to it, just because you claim to bury a word or claim to not use a word or don't think it offends people, You don't know what the person standing next to you situation is. And until we all get a grasp on something about other people, we all have the same shit inside. We all feel that racial unwanted pain. So until we can put a stop to it, it's going to continue. I can't win that fight without the rest of you. So everybody, if everybody could take off their skin and see that there's just red muscle material under here, all that shit would stop. If that's what we all look like. If we all look like the people from Hellraiser, the skinless people, everybody wouldn't know what color someone was. Of course, us dudes, the bad part of that is we probably wouldn't have dicks, but no one would know. Nobody. But in closing, until we all grasp the concept of feelings, then our feelings are constantly going to be hurt. And this is another reason why I totally hate racism. I'm James Williams Jr. This is Come Happy number 2. Be seeing you.